All right, man. Once again, back again, man. Hey, man, check this out, man. You don't have to guess who it is. You already know. It's the legendary mouthpiece from South Street. The one and only. Yours truly. Guess who the rapper, aka Pimpin' Dynasty, baby. Here to lace your brain with some of this incredible and glorious game. Once again, man. And what I want to talk about, man, is a topic of royalty and loyalty. You know what I'm saying? And currency. You know what I'm saying? And I just basically is going through a certain particular situation that is challenging a lot of the ideologies that I'm trying to establish within a person and have already established within myself. And no one will be able to transgress this eternal constitution or law or stipulation or term or condition that I have established not only within myself but within anyone that's willing to deal with me when they have this particular issue. And I have clauses. Now recently I've experienced where I'm dealing with someone, and because it's a long distance situation and long distance circumstance, well, I just want to talk in general, not necessarily me, but if it goes for anybody, you're dealing with long distance situation or a relationship, right? And it's taken a bit longer time, you know. Excuse me. It's taken some time for where we can close where you can close the gap on the distance from it being from long to short in close proximity. Maybe not living with each other, but at least in the same city, same state. And but during that process, you know, that person is absent. They're absent. They're not in your physical presence. And then the weather starts to change, starts to get warmer. You're outside, and now people are starting to look at you as an object of desire or whatever. And then now, due to you having loneliness, or you may have some sexual needs and urgencies, and in other words, an itch that needs to be scratched, or you want it to be scratched. Almost like the Erykah Badu "See You Next Lifetime" situation. Emotions don't lie. You see someone, they're attracted to you, you're attracted to them, but you already have a somewhat significant other, but they're long distance. Now, in a regular common mentality, that person that is long distance would not even entertain the thought of that person that they're dealing with significantly to entertain that other person that they may feel attracted to or have a desire. They wouldn't even entertain that. They would, I wouldn't say be insecure or anything like that, because this is very natural reaction to have. It's a very natural reaction to have, and to get jealous to the point where, hey, that's my property or that's my possession. What are you doing? No, you're not allowed to take them out on dates, or even conversate with them over the phone, touch them in any romantic type of way, because they're already spoken for. And even further, to have a sexual intercourse with them, that's an absolute no. But it's something about having a pimp's mentality, having a mentality of a man that was involved in what they call a game or official gentlemen of leisure, where they have established something higher than sex, established something of a higher level frequency when it pertains to sexual matters and things like that. I just have to be some that person, but let's not make this personal. Let's make this in general. And you, in general, have elevated your mind state to understand the difficulties that come with long distance relationships. Talking about royalty, loyalty, and currency, right? And you understand that that person might get lonely, that because you're absent, you're not present with them. Though you may communicate via telephone or FaceTime or something like that, sometimes that's just not enough. And then they're not, and then sometimes you're getting weird vibes from that person. They don't know if they want to be with you, or they do want to be with you, but it's just a bunch of changes that they're going through. Not only that, they don't have a definite date as of yet as when their expected time of arrival, when they will arrive on the scene, to shorten the distance between each other, Therefore, the mind of the other individual begins to wander. And then someone comes along and takes interest, and this can, within 72 hours, like, due to, if it's a woman, their vulnerability being a woman, and they have this trait about them in the past to where, hey, if it feels good, do it, you know what I mean? But that person that has that elevated and ascended level mentality, just like the pimps or the gentlemen of leisure has, they can understand and relate to them, of having these feelings, these urges, these emotions, because like Erykah Badu says, emotions just don't lie. She might be really feeling them due to you being absent, due to the fact that there's no definite date or definite time of arrival. Though they're planning, though the other person is planning to be there, but like all processes, sometimes it's just not that predictable. You're waiting on a few things and it just haven't lined up for you yet. But your intention is to shorten the distance from long to short. Okay? So that they can finally be together and do what they need to do for their life and then better their life. So, but for a temporary fix, here comes the person that's showing interest. They, in particular scenarios, say they just got out of a relationship, so it's almost sounding like, and they tell you that person told them they're just getting out of a relationship, and they also tell you that they've made them aware about you as the person that's long distance right now. And it seems like a setup for both of them for a rebound situation. Now, here comes the misunderstanding, but someone has an elevated, outstanding understanding of that situation. They know this is the gentleman of leisure. And most gentlemen of leisure don't have a problem with their women still loving them, still caring for them, because, or even though they go out and sleep with other men, right? But when you're a square or a regular person, a regular commoner without this elevated or ascended level of understanding, you can't grasp the concept of accepting another person sleeping with a individual that is claiming to be yours because you're long distance. They're present as far as physicality. You're present in, you might be absent in body, but you're present in spirit via through conversation or whatever. But they're kind of going bankrupt on that circumstance, the situation, and is growing weary. And they have someone that's accessible and available right there in the physical. But it's something about the pimping mentality. Now let's describe the pimp. Now, it's a powerful individual motivating people. Yet all of these acronyms is not completely accurate, though you can use them. You know what I mean? But it's not completely accurate. It's just a person that is a part of the game of pimping and hoeing. They're involved in the lifestyle of pimping and hoeing. Only one that can love a hoe is a pimp like that. He could have a relationship, even entire children from that hoe. Even though she sleeps with other men, he still loves her. But guess what she does? If she used to sleep with another man, she charges that man and brings the currency back to the man that is presiding over her life, the man that is offering protection and resources over her life, the one that is comforting her when she's down and encouraging her to elevate her life. You know what I mean? So therefore, if that man wants to play in his arena, that man will be labeled like a trick or something like that. He has to pay. It has to cost him. He has to come up with some sort of sacrifice to be utilizing someone else's property. You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me, OPP. Come on. Let me show you what it's talking about. No, yeah, it's other people's property or other people's possession, other people's penis, other people's pussy. You understand? So that gentleman of leisure mentality now in the square world, trying to introduce that said person that has been having a close encounter with another individual that's close proximity, and they can, they have the hots for them. Trying to explain to them. So this how it go. Explaining to them how this is gonna go. Making provisions for and putting a clause in for a particular activity due to this ascended level of understanding. And what is the understanding? Okay, I know that I am absent in body. I know that you feel my presence in spiritually because we can via communication, via either the telephone or FaceTime or whatever, the medium that whatever of choice to where we can communicate. I know this. But hey, baby, listen, I understand that things are getting tough. I know that it's rough. It's taking a bit longer than I anticipated. It's taking a bit longer than, what I worked out, as far as my expected time of arrival. And I know that you are in need of physical touch, some physicality. Okay. I understand that. And I see you having a close encounter or a conversation with said individual that has taken interest after their recent breakup with their former significant other. So it's almost like a rebound situation, but be though as it may, I have a provision for that because I can understand that I'm not there. And I have an extended level mentality to where I can adopt uh, the information that is not common to the rest of the populace, which is called the game. I got the game and I translate it in this lane that we are in. I take this same concept that the pimp has with his hoe. Now, or the gentleman of leisure. The game is called pimping and hoeing. Okay, I'm pimping. I'm presiding over you. I'm watching out for you. And you want to sleep with another man. The hoe sleep with other men all the time. But she loves her pimp. She loves her man, right? And she's somewhat like a wife to him. And in his eyes, she may very well be a wife to him, because they're out here trying to survive and come up instead of just coming. Ooh, that was good, you know? So here's the provision, here's the clause, you know. Here's the amendment. Not necessarily loophole, but it's a provision. If your desire burning that high and heavy to where you want to actually get into have sexual intercourse with said individual that is in close proximity, because of the your significant other is long distance at the time, then that individual that you're having a close relationship with and having close encounters of the third, fourth, and fifth kind with you, that said individual has to follow the program of the man that's long distance. The man of the long distance have a mentality of a pimp. He has the mentality of a man that is the gentleman of leisure. So you want pleasure within your leisure, you have to submit you have to make sacrifices. And you have to value his prized possession, which is his woman. And how do you do that? You have to make the sacrifice of breaking yourself for some currency. It's not free game, it's fee game. Okay? Because they have to value that man's prized possession on lease. There's not one store you can walk into and see their items and their possessions or their products and walk out with it without paying a price. And the price normally, that tag that's on there has a price. That's what they call it, price tag. So if you want to indulge talking to the woman who desires and really want to take it there with said individual that wants to have this close encounter of the third, fourth, and fifth, and sixth kind, then yeah, she is under his instructions. She's under his auspices. She's under his command. She's under his control. She's under his jurisdiction. Then she will follow what he says. And he has, from the top, laid it down like, okay, you need an itch, you have an itch you need scratching. I understand that because I'm not there to scratch it. And you want the next dude to scratch it. Hey, here's my fee. He pays me. We break it together. And that'll show that he values not only you, but he values me. And he values what we have established, of the understanding that we established. If he does not, or if he does not want to do that, then you are not allowed to have any more communication, conversation, association, and definitely no physical altercation with them or sexual interaction with said person. You have to let them go. Be like, hey, it's like you're married. I'm taken. I'm spoken for. My husband is away. Yes. Yes, I'm horny. Yes, I like you. Yes, I want to sleep with you. But guess what? I'm not. Normally, normal situations, which is much more common, that is the result. That's the more common effect. Okay? But since you have an ascended level of understanding, that's the type of relationship that's being established. So these are the rules. He has to strap up. You know what I'm saying? If he want to tap up, he has to be strapped up. And he has to, if he wants to lay and play, he has to pay. He might necessarily stay, but he's definitely got to pay. And if he wants to and it's the same thing, every interaction, there's going to be a transaction. Okay? That came from the top. That came from the long distance person with the ascended level understanding. Now, if the one in the middle, which is the girl or the hoe, that hoe meaning HOE, heaven on earth, have any discrepancy with that and don't understand that due to a squares mentality or due to not wanting to do, not to abide by his clause or whatever, then they will have to part company and cancel the contract and null and void, and he would set her free, give her somewhat a bill of divorcement, and then she would be because her she wants to take back her possession from him. She wants to take authority back from him because it's her body, her choice. No longer his body, his choice. It's her body, her choice, and she wants to take that back. So therefore, what that person that's in long distance to do, they are to write them a bill of divorcement, verbally, orally, written, however, cut ties, part company, and set that woman free. And during the process of doing this, they don't understand why they should receive currency because they don't want it to be looked at like a whore. And the person that said individual is explaining to them like, wait a minute, what do you think they're going to look at you like if they could just play for free? They could just have sexual intercourse because you're horny and sleep with you. No sacrifice has been made. Only good conversation, good deception, or good sex, but never making any sacrifices. They're not even valuing you because you're weak and vulnerable, missing the individual that you really want to be with, who is just so happens to be absent in body but present in spirit or via conversation. Due to the distance, geographic long distance or geographic location that is currently between them, that exists between them at that particular time. So what is he supposed to do? Permit you to just say, okay, I understand what you're doing. Go ahead and have sex with him. But when I get back, then I'll just forget about that. And, we'll join a union or get married. When that man didn't do anything, he didn't support you. He didn't abide by the current, the clause or whatever. He just have access at the pearly gates of heaven on earth, the heaven on earth, HOE, for free and not a fee. So when that said person, the long distance person, come back, that individual can say, hey, I slept with his property, or I slept with his girl, you know what I'm saying? And now he gonna wife her up and stuff like that. I didn't have to pay. Did you have to pay? No, I didn't have to pay nothing. I didn't have to do anything. All I did was drop some cold game on her, and you know what I mean, and spit some game, you know. I thought she was cute, whatever, and I was horny, you know what I mean? And look at him. Now how is that the said person that's coming in to move to make things real with you supposed to look? He's going to look like a sucker. He's going to be looking like a simp or cornball. No. And not only that, you're at risk. You put that man at risk of a sexually transmitted disease, something that's incurable, and the gift that keeps on giving. No. First of all, a regular common person with a regular level of understanding, not even ascended a level of understanding, not even adopting the pimp's mentality, they're not even going to tolerate you even looking at another person or even talking to another person, which is pretty much how it's supposed to go. Because even when pimps is over their hoes, that's reckless eyeballing. They ain't even allowed to look at another pimp. They ain't even allowed to glance at another man. No. So, and that's gonna be established. But if you want to look and glance in the square world with the pimp's mentality under his instructions, if he permits that, then we're gonna adopt the lifestyle of pimping and hoeing to where you gonna be my hoe, I'm gonna be your pimp. If he wants to get into my prized possessions womb and go through the pearly gates without a sacrifice, that's not going down. Because you putting yourself at risk of being devalued. Because what if he shoot up the club? Now you are pregnant by someone you just wanted to have a fling with, and you expect the one that was long distance to come in and clean that situation up? I think not. Absolutely not. You devalue, so you're going to devalue not only yourself, but him as well. When you potentially put yourself and him at risk of catching an incurable disease, something abominable floating and swimming in your body that you contracted from this person that you just met, you're willing to destroy a movement for a moment of pleasure? And then we have to make a monument of what was good and what was bad? No, absolutely not. But if you want to do that, that person long distance have so much understanding that he encourages you to make him value you by putting a fee and not for free. And if that said woman who, due to her not a lack of understanding, thinking that would make them look like a whore or a hoe, what do you think you're going to be looked at by doing it, whether there's no monetary or currency exchanged or not? At least you will be getting paid for it. If you're going to be out here transgressing against your man, and if he made provisions because he knows that he's far away and adopted the pimp's mentality so you can be, given permission to do it, because you got to get permission while you're under his jurisdiction. If you totally disagree and don't understand that person should pay to play and value you by making a sacrifice of his currency, in order for him to be up in your heavenly womb, polluting it? If that's something you cannot understand, then you don't need to be with the person of that ascended level understanding, because your understanding has not been elevated, or you refuse to climb up or understand it. You just want to please your temporary situation or urge or desire. Then no. If that's the case, you have to make a decision. You want to destroy a movement for a moment, or you want to make something monumental from the movement. Either way, the choice is yours. He's not forcing nothing on you. He's absolutely presenting to you how it's going to be, being very clear about it. These are my terms. These are my conditions. Though they're being honest with you about having a close encounter or conversation or whatever, talking or whatever, that person is being honest with you about their terms and conditions. Now, they have to make a decision. A lot of you guys, a lot of you men or males that is expiring and endeavoring to be one day become men, you must understand that being a man is a position and not just a gender. It is a gender, but it's not just a gender. It's a position. And you are the lawmaker. You are the one that puts it down. You are the protector, the provider. That means not just providing of financial provision. No, your provision and protection is way and higher than currency, than money, than anything monetary or materialistic. You provide insight, guidance, direction, protection from bad decisions. You understand? And one thing I preach, teach, and reach with, a lot of these women are moving like whores out here, but they're not moving like hoes. A whore and a hoe is two different things, though they're the same in actions to a certain degree when it comes to sex. But someone that's just regular out here, just promiscuous and sleeping with other men, they're making those type of moves like that. So to balance that situation out and to regain power and restore balance, is that you men have to adopt the mentality of the person that governs over said hoe. And that is the pimping. And it's a dynasty of pimps that could be established in the mind. Pimping, and we can have a pimping dynasty. Someone has to restore order and restore the balance, because a lot of them are moving like square prostitutes and whores, but not hoes. Now, what makes up a hoe? A hoe is one that's under the instructions and influence of said pimp. Hence, we got the term, the lifestyle of pimping and hoeing. PIMP. Powerful individual making power moves. Powerful individual making progress. Protector, innovator, motivator. Powerful person. You understand? And it's much more than that. And he is in possession of the most valuable thing out of all of it. He's in possession of game. GAME. Game activated Game activation means elevation. He is the one that's going to elevate the situation. He will take you from the street, from no dollars, from an apartment, into a duplex, into a house, into a mansion, into a palace. That's the power of the pimping. He moves the family forward. He is having his own pride, like the pride of a lion. Yes, he has many women, but they are his possession. They don't belong to any other lion. Unless he's taken down by a younger lion, then that is what it is. So fellas, a lot of these women are moving funny, but their reason is because there's no one to restore the balance. There's a lot of women out here that don't understand what value is. They're just wanting to sleep, and everything is totally on the base animalistic level. And they just want to sleep with this guy, sleep with that guy. And I'm talking about for those who are in a particular situation. Yeah, this is dealing with a long distance situation or whatever situation. They have a weird concept because they receive money or receiving currency for said act, sexual act, that they are whore. But because they do not receive currency or money or anything sacrificial, they're not a whore when that's completely balanced. And to think that a man or a person that's presiding over this situation is supposed to agree and accept that, they have lost their mind. If you think me personally would permit my woman to sleep with another man for free, nothing, no sacrifice, no elevation, no nothing. So you can one day arrive there to be with said woman, where that man could just walk around and say that he had the opportunity to sleep with her, put her at risk for delivering an STD or whatever, an incurable disease, or even a baby, and try to put it on him, on the other individual, then that person, the woman that is thinking that that's okay, she has lost her mind. You have lost your mind if you, as the man or the head of the situation or relationship, separationship, expirationship, then you have lost your mind. You have lost your position, and you have lost value. Everything, Andre Taylor taught us that everything breaks down to value. In order for her to these things to be established, and if they have this so-called word called love for you, honor for you, respect above all three of them, then they will comply and conform to the information that you have just informed them about. Meaning, they will respect your decision. You are not to even conversate with that person. Now, if you disagree with what I'm saying, then it's our time is up. You will be set free to do what you would like to do. And go ahead and destroy the movement for your moment of pleasure. But standards must be set. Principles above everything. Game above everything. The only vision is the vision. A pimp's vision is only that game. A trick's vision is just base and lustful. No. Then you must part company. But someone must restore balance. And if that person does not understand that, then we have come to the end of our journey. I was once a boy and now I'm a man. Boys to men, we have come to the end of the road. Two cannot walk together unless they be agreed. You have lost value. And if those people don't want to value and they don't want to value themselves, then they can no longer exist with you. So someone must restore balance. There's a lot of simping going on, a lot of tricking going on, a lot of unmanly things that are occurring in this square world. So here I am, bringing the pimping dynasty to a square world that is lost. Lost because of suckers and square prostitutes professing to be women, sleeping with men for free, when a hoe is supposed to sleep with a man outside of her man for a fee. That way they can come up instead of just coming. And that's restoring order. Other than that, the rules and regulations go down like this. You really ain't even allowed to be eyeballing another individual at all. That's reckless eyeballing. You're not supposed to look at that individual. That's reckless eyeballing. That would not occur if that person that's long distance was in present and is present physically. But you got to have these people on automatic. That means no matter where you are geographically, the rules and still apply. The principles, the rules, the regulations still apply. Yeah. And if that's what if they don't want that, then give them a bill of divorcement. They go not the way you want them to go. Give her a bill of divorcement, cut ties with her, and let her go. And you've been knocked. Knock, knock, who's there? You know what I'm saying? And that's that. And that's all I have to say about that. So, males, it's time for us to become men. Females, it's time for y'all to become women. And it's time to value each other. Because if she truly respects, and if y'all truly respect the ordinances that have been laid out, the law that has been laid out, the rules, the regulation that has been laid out, you will be displaying what they call loyalty. If that man says this is how it's going to go, you will display loyalty and telling the other person and yourself, denying yourself and denying said person unless these prerequisites are fulfilled for this clause in this particular situation. By receiving a sacrifice, and most people do not want to separate from their currency. But if they're willing to part with their currency, then both parties are giving a physical representation to the party that's absent physically of loyalty by paying him tribute for occupying his space, his land, his heaven on earth, or his hoe. And then, once they part with their currency and have valued the situation and have protected themselves and all of that, and war protection, now we can establish royalty. Now we can be elevated and be royal. The pimp and the hoe, the gentleman of leisure and his woman now have royalty, loyalty, and currency. And with that, I'm going to end on that. Y'all have a blast past wild now and a greater later. Live the life of your design so you can have a good time for a lifetime. Live the life of his design and you will be divine for the rest of your lifetime. This is Guess Who the Rapper, a.k.a. Pimpin' Dynasty. I love y'all. Bless, peace, and blessings to all of you. I love you. Good night. And goodbye.